we will create a mesh that is associative to the CAD geometry. Meshes are created and stored in the FEM file, so we will begin by displaying the FEM. The information window lists the polygon faces that were modified during the idealization steps from the previous video. For this part, we will create a mesh of three-dimensional solid elements. From the mesh group, select 3D tetrahedral mesh. Select the solid body to mesh. We will use the C-tetraton element type, which is an astron parabolic solid element. Click Automatic Element Size to have the software estimate an appropriate element length for the selected geometry. Notice the calculated element length of 14.2 mm. Mesh collectors are containers that help you manage meshes that share the same material, physical, and display properties. You can create mesh collectors separately, but for now, we will let the software automatically create a collector for this mesh. Click OK to create the mesh and the collector. The collector that the software created contains default physical properties that are assigned to the mesh. By default, the mesh inherits the material from the CAD model. But for this mesh, we want to use the material steel. To change the material, right-click the Solid 1 Mesh Collector and choose Edit. The material assigned to the mesh is stored in the Physical Property table. Edit the P-Solid 1 Physical Property table by clicking the Edit button. Notice that the material is set to Inherited. You can assign a different material to the mesh by selecting it from the NX Material library. Click the Choose Material button. Select Steel and click OK. Steel is now the material assigned to the mesh. Click OK to complete the changes. Before continuing the analysis, you can check the quality of the elements in your mesh. Click the Element Quality button. From the Elements to checklist, select Displayed, to check all displayed elements in the mesh. Expand the Geom Check Options group. We will use the default thresholds. Click the Check Elements button to start the check. The NX status line tells us that no elements failed the checks or generated warnings. Close the Element Quality dialog box. The meshing task is now complete. Your next steps could be to add loads and boundary conditions and then solve the model.